working. I think what the pandemic has shown us is stupidity is life. People don't even know what common sense is or indeed have any. But my biggest concern this entire 4-week lockdown, and Tim, I know that you'll be able to...
NFL quarterback Drew Brees pledges more than $8 million to Louisiana. Matthew Hooton, why we can trust Jacinda Ardern to get us through coronavirus. You can see more at NZL.
ex-treasurer, one's a treasurer, one's ex-treasurer. They know what they're doing when it comes to money and health and wages and taxes and stuff. And that's just what surprised me about Morrison. If you take I went to Hawaii during the bushfire scenario,
Yes.
and then you add the hairdressing to this, none of this looks good for him.
Well, it doesn't look good for him, and the federal opposition, to its credit, in the parliament this week, they waved through the second round of stimulus. That was federal spending was in the order of $70 billion. A fortnight ago, they spent 17, and everybody sat back and thought, "Wow, you're kidding! How good's that?" Well, it didn't even touch the sides; it just vanished, like gone. So out came the $70 billion in the second round. That was backed up by the Federal Reserve Bank, which coughed up in the order of $100 billion. Well, today we're expecting a whole new suite of measures because the figures of unemployment are going to the roof over here, as I'm sure they are in New Zealand. New figures this week, the last 24 hours, maybe 1 million, maybe 1.5 million Australians will not have a job this time next week. It's just crazy. I mean, in New South Wales, 450,000 people could be out of work. Victoria, 250,000 people, huge job losses, and a whole lot more to come. So today we're looking at a new suite of measures from Scott Morrison, who we don't know the quantum at this point, but they're talking about things like I guess rental assistance for tenants and for commercial tenants as well, because if you can't isolate if you've been kicked out of your home. The government has spoken to the big banks this week about mortgage relief, about small business loans and the like. And don't forget, the banks over here last year, the big four banks, made between them profits of $27 billion. Plus, they're going to be looking at things like subsidising the rates and the power and the utility bills of companies, and indeed of private citizens and the like. So there's a pressure too building from unions over here about going down the path of perhaps a wage subsidy like they're doing in Britain. Scott Morrison isn't a big fan of that, I think, because A, it's going to be very bloody expensive, and B, it's not the equity issue there. If you're getting 80% of a £150,000 salary, or 80% of a £20,000 salary,
yeah, but hold on, because we've got the wage subsidy here, and it's 80% up to a cap. So for a full-time worker, it's 585. For a part-time worker, it's 380, right? So it's a lot of people who earn good money don't really get much. But what I'm seeing from Australia this week, and I've been following it closely, is you've just got a massive queue of people outside what you call Centrelink, which is the unemployment agency, because there is no wage subsidy. So what our argument is, you keep the worker connected to the company. No, you're not going to save all businesses, but if you keep the worker connected to the company, when you come out the other side, they're still employed, still set to go, and your company can get up and running, whereas you lot are busy chasing Bob and Sharon down the road who you laid off.
Look, it's a very good point. There's a point being made over and over again by the ACTU, which is our premier union organisation over here. The ACTU says just that. You have to keep people in touch, related to their place of work. But if it's a cafe, if it's a small metalworking shop, I mean, if there's no work, what does that employer do? Are we going to be paying up to 80%? And it's capped, which is a good thing, right? Which is a very good thing. But the thing over here, I mean, that's the economic side. The other side that's really flaring up big time is the business about, do you go scalable and proportionate, which is what Scott Morrison and the crew have been saying, or do you go hard and go early? Because that's what Victoria wants to do, and that's what New South Wales is threatening to do.
The other side, mate, is to go hard and go early. So you're not going late or going early, you're going late. I mean, and that brings me to the next point. This state model you've got running, I mean, where we set up a national cabinet, well, I thought, good on you, that makes sense in a crisis, given everyone's affected. Next thing you know, Berejiklian's out there and Anderson's out there, and all they're making up their own rules.
And New South Wales intends to go even further on that. I mean, that complete debacle when we had 2,700 passengers pull in on the Ruby Princess. Boy, oh boy, if they haven't got shares in the Princess shipping line. They pulled in here, even though people on board were sick, they'd been given the coronavirus tests. Those people were allowed to pack their bags and waddle off into the sunset. I mean, what a catastrophic failure. And then we have this really dreadful sort of turf war between the border force, which, as the guy came out the following day and said, listen, my people aren't doctors, they're not health professionals, we look after visas and border protection. It's not up to us to take people's temperatures. That's a very good point.
tourists still in the country. There are people all over the world stuck on boats, and I'm thinking to myself, what were you thinking? Why were you hopping on a boat in the middle of an epidemic and a crisis? What's the matter with you?
I think a lot of people didn't realise we didn't take it seriously enough early enough. Probably all of us were in that boat. We just did not know how serious it would be and how quickly it would hit home. But also what I have been surprised is how many people do travel, especially New Zealanders. I can't believe how many Kiwis are in South America, for example. Every time I see the news, it's like, oh, there's a whole bunch more. They're still sitting in Peru. What are they? How do so many Kiwis get to so many far-flung places to live? It's incredible.
Well, we are one of the great travelling nations based on the fact that we're isolated in the world. I think South America, broadly speaking, is a young person, isn't it? That you backpack, Machu Picchu, you know, all that sort of stuff, Kumbaya. But I just find it extraordinary. In the last 2 weeks, so let's accept globally in the last 2 weeks, I take it back to the previous Thursday from that, so 2.5 weeks ago, when Trump closed the borders to Europe, wasn't that, Tim, the sign that it was all coming to an end and rapidly, and that wherever you were, if you didn't think about getting home, you're an idiot?
That's what, and I think, you say Trump closed the borders, and we had, grumpy old Uncle Winston Peters saying, if you want to come home, you better come home. Get home now. This is the time. But, I talk to people who say, my son's in London and they didn't quite get a ticket. It's hard you've got sort of half a life overseas if you're located overseas. And you sort of think, well, do I have to go, I don't have any money, but, all of these, we talk about, you just got that, but it's always mitigated by how much dough you have, who you are. I just started seeing this new girl, she's really nice. I mean, it's silly, but this is how we are.
Yeah, I think the sorry, Karen Kelly.
No, you're going to give us a good lesson.
No, I wasn't. I was going to ask you a question. Is part of the equation that we are limited by the group intellect of a nation?
We're certainly playing to lowest common denominator at the moment, and I don't even think that's working. I think what the pandemic has shown us is stupidity is life. People don't even know what common sense is or indeed have any. But my biggest concern this entire 4-week lockdown, and Tim, I know that you'll be able to understand this, is Mike's hair. Because he was not able to get a haircut. He tried for about 2 days before the lockdown when it was coming. 2 days, and we could not get one. And now we're going into what can only be described as pineapple. The where we're headed. And yesterday I homegroomed the dog as a trial run.
Story. And it highlights, does it not, Katie, just how wasteful some school activity is. If you get a kid in front of a computer, the teacher turns up, we start the class, we stop the class, we begin another class, bang, you've never worked so hard, never learned so much.
Yeah, she's working her butt off. And then she asked the school, after all her online classes, she did an online dance class. So she's just exhausted non-stop.
But you think about going to school, by the time you take the role, have the assembly, do the house parades, do all the other stuff that really doesn't add to life and learning, apart from the fact that it's funsies and communal and all that sort of stuff. This might be one of the changes we make that's permanent, and that's no bad thing, I reckon.
My nephew and niece, my sister's rival because there are no lessons being sent home, and she's saying these teachers are getting paid, they're not doing anything.
That's uncool.
And, that's uncool.
No, that's super uncool because our school's doing a great job. Nice to see you guys. Have a good weekend. Kate Hawksby, Tim Wilson. It's 8:22.
The Mike Hosking Breakfast on air and on iHeartRadio. News Talk ZB.